Okay, I think we should start. And so first of all, I'd like to thank the presenters for agreeing to participate in this webinar, and I'd also like to thank our participants from around the world actually for being here with us today. I know it's the end of the year, so it's quite a busy period, no matter where you are, whether you're in Asia or Europe. So thank you very much, and it's great to have you here. It's webinar in the Realize Your Opportunity series on mining investments in Pakistan. We have a very distinguished lineup with us today, and I'll make brief introductions and we'll go straight into the discussion topics. We have Mr. Amir Iqbal with us. He's the CEO of Sindh Engro Coal Mining Corporation. SECMC is Pakistan's leading coal producer, operating Pakistan's first open pit lignite mine in Thar Desert in Pakistan, with a current annual mining capacity of over 7.5 million tons. We also have with us Dr. Nawaz Virk. He is the Director General of Minerals in the Petroleum Division of the Government of Pakistan. He's a senior geological engineer and holds a PhD doctorate from the KTH Royal Institute of Sweden. Along with us, we also have Mr. Shamsuddin Shaikh. He's the CEO of the National Resources Limited and the Chairman of Pakistan Mineral Development Corporation. He was the first CEO, if I'm not wrong, of SECMC and has been instrumental in developing the mining sector in Pakistan over the years. And we are about to be joined by Mr. Tariq, who's the CEO of the Purana Mining Corporation, which is a mining exploration company in Pakistan. Now, without further ado, I'd like to start with Dr. Virk. Dr. Virk, as the representative of the government of Pakistan here, and so for our international audiences and those who don't know, mining in Pakistan is a provincial matter, right? So it has been devolved to the provinces. The provinces have ownership rights over the mineral resources, unless they are nuclear or radiological resources. Having said that, so there are 4 different mining regimes in Pakistan. They're more or less similar, but there are certain discrepancies. So first of all, I'd like you to talk about the mining opportunities in Pakistan and the role of the government of Pakistan in harmonizing these things. Over to you, Dr. Saab.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rabel, for providing me the opportunity to participate in this webinar, and I appreciate your efforts connecting all us around the globe. So I would like to speak about, overview of mineral sector of Pakistan, including challenges, opportunities, and future roadmap. So I would like to share the presentation. If you can see us. Let me connect.
Yes, it is now.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, now we can.
Yes, so I will speak about challenges, opportunities, and roadmap for the effective development of the mineral sector of Pakistan. So here, as already spoken by Mr. Rabel, mineral titles belong to provincial governments under constitutional provisions. Whereas federal government is interested in facilitation and coordination role. So we also interested in interacting international investors and making the facilitations as possible as. So here we have certain entities and functions. Federal government is interested for geological surveys, which we have Geological Survey of Pakistan. We are, relevant for offering fiscal incentives. Then we are interested for national mineral sector policy development. Nuclear energy minerals are, also part of the federal government, but there is a separate entity for this purpose. Then we are also, have the functions or the authority for investment facilitation. Then in the provincial sector, mining regulation is there because they have the title of the minerals, so they are supposed to regulate, make the rules and inspections and related mineral title grants. They do offer prospecting licenses, exploration licenses, then the mining leases. They look after HSE and labor welfare issues, royalty collection, then exploration and development, and also resource marketing, etc. We have various entities at federal level as well as provincial levels. We have Pakistan Mineral Development Corporation, which is federal entity. We have Sanding Metal Limited. There is Balan Mining Enterprises, which is joint venture of Pakistan Petroleum Limited and Government of Balochistan. We have Pakistan Stone Development Corporation. FWA is working, in some one project. There is Pakistan Gems and Jewelry Development Company. We were having Lakra Coal Development Company, which is dormant now, and there is also newly emerging entity, which is Pakistan Minerals Private Limited. It is engaged in Recodic project. At provincial level, there are various entities. Like in Punjab, there are two companies. One is Panjmin and the other one is Punjab Mineral Company. Then at KP, there is a Sarada Minerals. In Balochistan, there are two companies. One is the Balochistan Mining Resources Limited. The other one is Balochistan Mineral Exploration Company Limited. In Sindh, as already spoken, Sindh Engro Coal Mining Company is there. The other one was Sindh Lakra Coal Mining Company, which is dormant at the moment. Here we see the mineral development processes. First stage is the prospecting and geological mapping in the left bottom corner, where we have entity which is Geological Survey of Pakistan. It undertakes various prospecting and geological surveys, satellite imageries, etc. Then there comes detailed survey, and then there is a job of provincial governments through grant of prospecting licenses, reconnaissance licenses, and exploration licenses. Then detailed exploration licenses may include feasibility study. Based on the feasibility study, next phase comes in mineral development and extraction, which is a project level. Then there is a further component in the value chain, which is normally processing and marketing. And then once mine is totally exploited, then there comes a phase of mine closure and reclamation. This is almost a standard procedure everywhere. Here's a snapshot of mineral resources. We have different kind of minerals. Here in this slide, we see gypsum, chromite, lead, zinc, limestone, clays, dolomite, coal, copper, salt, granite, and iron ore. Few are measured, whereas few need to be further measured according to international global standards. If we talk about the economic contribution, so far it is less than 1% in the national GDP. However, it is providing nearly 300,000 employments across Pakistan. We have over 5,000 mining locations, we can say mining leases and different activities or projects across the country. We have 4 large-scale mining projects, 3 chemical-based, mineral-based chemical industry, over 50 cement plants across the country, and there are about 500 medium-scale projects, mineral projects all over the country. There is immense potential in Pakistan, and if we effectively develop and exploit the potential, we hope it can contribute between 3 to 5% in national GDP. About existing mineral projects, we have Sandik Copper Gold, which is open pit project in Balochistan. We have Dudar Lead Zinc project, which is underground mining. It is in Lasbela. Boya Copper project, it is open pit mining. Copper coal blocks 1 and 2, again it is open pit mining. It is lignite quality coal. Barite mining and processing, it is again open pit mining. Cement quarries we have. marble and granite quarries we have, as well as we have abundant resources of rock salt, mainly in projects with Kyoda as well as Warsha in salt range. It's good quality pink salt which has very reasonable quantity of iron in it to make it pink. In the upcoming mineral projects, few are under exploration, few are under development. Among the exploration projects, copper gold in Chavi, lead zinc in Khozdar, and metallic minerals in various parts of the country. In the development phase, we have Rekudik copper gold project, Chinyot iron ore, Behrad lead zinc, Sindh coal blocks, then Muhammad Khail, it is open pit mining and cement quarries across the country. Ongoing initiatives, we are working on establishment of National Mineral Data Center, which is GIS-based mineral information portal. So a struggle is to make available and disseminate the mineral sector data and information through this web portal. Like what activities are being taken, already have been taken by GSP about geological mapping and where the mineral occurrence is there, information about exploration licenses, reconnaissance licenses, as well as information of mining leases, etc. So different phases of mining activity we would like to couple here and make it disseminated through web portal to the global audience. Then we are working on harmonization of legal and regulatory framework, because it is no doubt it is a mineral subject, is a provincial subject, it is a provincial domain. We have at national level, National Mineral Policy 2013, but again, provinces do have their own policies. They do have their own regulatory and legal frameworks according to their needs. But there is a need to have a unified kind of legal and regulatory framework so that international investor and audience could know what type of major frameworks are there and what type of steps to follow to get engaged in mineral business. So there is a struggle which is undergoing, and we expect after harmonization of legal and regulatory framework, it will be better visibility of mineral sector of Pakistan for the investor. We are engaged in, of course, seeking investment in mining sector, development of mineral mining infrastructure, which is essential for effective development and reach to the projects which are, of course, distant projects. We are working on HR development plan at the federal level. About the issues and challenges, I try to capture here few major issues and challenges. First one is inadequate resource mapping and missing reserve assessment. So we need to undertake extensive mapping and convert the resource into reserve. There is a lack of harmonized legal and structure and framework at country level. Ineffective and inconsistent regulatory and fiscal regimes we see across the country. There is a lack of data, digitization and access. We are working on it. There is a missing value addition and marketing in the mineral value chain. Lack of infrastructure we see. Lack of expertise and adoption of advanced technology. Mining sector is mostly the projects are scattered, and without deployment of advanced technology. There is missing research and innovation in the mining sector. Among the way forward, we see that there is dire need for effective geological and mineral sector data management and its outreach. There's need to work on harmonization of legal regulatory framework. We are working on it. We need to create business-friendly environment and climate to attract enhanced investment and financing. Deposit to industrialization focus is needed for value addition in the mining sector. Ensure HSE and community development for inclusive development and welfare of the mining labor. Development of upfront critical infrastructure. There's need of institutional strengthening and HR capacity building. Last but not least, ensure effective oversight, implementation, and review mechanism at federal level for effective development and tracking of progress at all provincial level. In the action plan, we are focusing on different areas uh, which are mostly included in way forward. So we have developed short term about 2 to 3 years plans, then medium term, which is 5 years plan, and then there is 10 year plan, which is long term plan, 10 years and beyond. So all these uh, the areas which need focus attention, we are focusing on it and taking various measures so that our mining sector becomes vibrant through visibility, through continuity of the policies, and through effective interventions and measures at the federal level as well as at the provincial level. So struggle would be to move together and facilitate our provincial bodies and federating units to develop this mineral sectors. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Saab. That was a very comprehensive overview and of the mining landscape in Pakistan. Can I now move on to Amir, yourself, and then to Shams to talk about some successes, right? Because Amir, you are running one of the largest open pit mines, coal mines. I know coal is a dirty word, but it is a necessity right now in the country's energy landscape. You're running one of the largest coal mines, open pit coal mines in Pakistan. What has your experience been, particularly from the public-private partnership model? And can you tell us a little bit about the shareholding structure of SECMC as well? Over to you, Ahmed, and then I'll ask Shams as well in relation to Pakistan Mineral Development Corporation.
All right, Rabel. So thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum and good afternoon to all the participants. Dr. Virk has given such a comprehensive overview of challenges and opportunities that I think we all become, everyone else becomes redundant. So, Rabel, to your question, so this all started in late 2000s when in 2008 government of Sindh advertised that they want to develop a partnership or they seek interested parties to develop third block 2. And Engro was one of the companies which showed their interest and intent. And as a result, the mining of Block 2 was mine lease was issued to SECMC in 2011. So if we look at SECMC, so SECMC is a typical example of a successful PPP project where the government, as Dr. Virk explained, that mining is a provincial subject, and a lot of areas are towards the provincial government. So there was a JV which was signed between Engro and, as we say, Engro and Associates and Government of Sindh, where Government of Sindh today has around 54% shareholding. And Engro and Associates, which includes not only Engro Energy Limited, but also Hubco, House of Habib Bank Limited, CMEC, all the consortium of private business houses. So I think that's an interesting model where the government being the owner of the land, or they have the rights over the land and the mine itself. They collaborated with credible business houses with bringing in equity and expertise. And as a result, what has happened in last 10 years or so, 12, 15 years, that you see that in Thar, there is a complete transformation of that region. Government of Sindh played their role in terms of developing infrastructures, roads, airport, ensuring that the mine and the power plants have access to water. The government of Sindh also had a major contribution in terms of helping us at that time of providing sovereign guarantee, which was backed by the federal government. So there is a active support from the federal government as well. And then I think another good thing which government of Sindh has done is creation of the regulatory body, third energy coal board. So so I think these are the things which the government brought to the table, and private enterprises, they didn't only bring in the money but also capability, capacity, technology, and then they both culminated, and you can see that this has been a very positive partnership where government of Sindh, like any other stakeholder, operates through the board, and SECMC is being managed by an independent management committee. So today, as you mentioned, that we are operating a 7.6 million ton of coal, where we are supplying to our coal plants, and we are producing 1,320 megawatt of the most efficient fossil and energy in the country after nuclear and after the hydel. And yeah, so our experience, so this journey has been full of challenges itself also, but because there is so much potential in Thar, as Dr. Virk mentioned, that there is 175 billion ton of coal, which is one of the largest gold coal reserves in the world. We are only operating currently. We're only operating block two, and there is another Chinese operator which operates and explores block one. So there is still a huge opportunity if you look at moving forward. Because if you look at and as you said, coal is a tricky business. However, for the country needs and country economy, it is very, very essential. So the good news is that now the government is committed to set up a railway connection of 105 kilometers. This will be a game changer because this will open Thar coal to the world. It will have access to port, it will have access across the country. So I think this is the turning point where, because now the concept has been proven in two blocks, it will invite. I think the government should be more actively pursuing other partners or other blocks to start operations, and because there is a lot of opportunity out there. Today, we are importing 16 to 18, 19 million tons of coal every year for our power plants, for cement industry, and we are spending a lot of foreign exchange on that. If we can substitute all these areas with local coal, so we will be saving forex. Secondly, it's a most economical indigenous source of fuel today. So there is a concrete need for the government to push and facilitate the existing blocks to expand as soon as possible, but also to start looking at other investors or start looking at developing other blocks as well.
Thank you for that, and I will come back to you about the future course and the investor outlook for SECMC, particularly its financing needs. But Shamsa, I would like you to touch upon some things that we've spoken about in relation to Pakistan PMDC, also the Virk project, and the synergies between a good international investor and a good local partner, and the necessity of having a combination.
Okay, thank you very much for giving me this opportunity. First, Pakistan Mineral Development Corporation. I'm the chairman of the board. Dr. Virk is also one of the directors. So it is completely 100% owned by government of Pakistan. So essentially, Dr. Virk owns PMDC. It is a Pakistan Mineral Development Corporation. However, we are not doing much minerals, but we are doing salt and coal. We have got 5 salt mines in Punjab and 1 in KP. And we have got coal mines in Balochistan, 1 in Sindh, but mainly in Balochistan. We are the biggest miner of rock salt, about 1.5 million tons of rock salt we mine. Total mining in Pakistan of rock salt is about 3 million tons, and we do 1.5 million tons. Pakistan has got the maximum, most reserves of rock salt anywhere in the world. Absolutely billions of tons of rock salt is available in Pakistan, and almost 30 to 40% of the area is leased to PMDC. So not only we are now doing, we sell edible salt, but we also sell lots of industrial salt. It goes to soda ash plant, caustic soda plants and others. Right now, there is one more plant coming up for soda ash, that's the fire plant, and we are going to hopefully become a major supplier to them and hopefully also become investor in that system. We are also in the process of exporting rock salt. We don't export rock salt as PMDC. The supplier, the people that we supply salt to, they export, but now we are planning to export it ourselves. We have just recently signed an MOU with a US company and an MOU with a Pakistani company, and hopefully we should be able to sell salt, edible salt, which is produced under the international thing. So we are going to make 3 more mines, and we are going to increase our production. Our plan is to increase our production from 1.5 million tons to 2.5 million tons in the next 5 years' time. And so we would become a major player, not only in Pakistan, but worldwide. We would become a major player in rock salt. That is our mainstay. Second thing that we do is coal. Coal, we do it in Balochistan. We have got 3 mines over there, and we do half a million tons of coal in all the 3 put together, and we are looking to expand one of our mines over there also. But this is what we were doing in past. Now there's a renewed emphasis by government of Pakistan to move into mineral sector. So PMDC on its own part is heavily involved now, looking at lots of mines in exploration, and we have got hold of few areas that we are now starting exploration. So we really want to move together with salt and coal. We want to move into minerals big time, and we are working towards it. And we are very, very open to foreign investors who are willing to come and work in Pakistan, and I'll come to that topic later on, where I'll explain why PMDC can play a very important role. Second part, we talked about Reko Diq. Reko Diq is the crown jewel of Pakistan mining sector. Unfortunately, we had problems, long story, and let's not get into old things. I think Mr. Tariq, who has also joined, will talk more about Reko Diq and the resources and everything, whatever is over there, more the numbers. But I would just like to say that we had a long problem, big dispute. As Pakistanis, private sector, and as Pakistani government, we have learned a whole lot out of this, and hopefully we will not be repeating the mistakes that were committed in 2010 and 2013. The entire thing has been relooked at. Now the project is very much on with 50% of Barrick Gold. And you can imagine if Barrick Gold has come and they are doing the project, and they must have received all the assurances that are required by an international company to do the project. It's not a small project. The capital investment, the initial capital investment is about $4 to $5 million, other than the penalties and everything that were paid. So it reaches the end of the phase 1, the total amount of money that would be invested into that area would be about $6 million, and $6 billion is $6 billion. So it's a big project. It's happening. I will let Tariq talk about it. Whereas, what is the success for international companies working in Pakistan? I would say 2 things are absolutely essential. If any foreigner wants to come to Pakistan, 2 things are absolutely very, very crucial in the structuring part. The first is, please get hold of a good Pakistani company to work with you as your partner. There are a number of good Pakistani companies which are now interested in mining or already in mining. So they are good companies. They are now understand bit of a mining, but for any foreign company to come, get hold of one of those companies, because in Pakistan, getting the NOCs, getting the permissions, getting all other things is though I must say that the current atmosphere in Pakistan is very favorable to mining, yet there are many, many challenges which need to be overcome, and only a Pakistani company can help overcome those challenges. So that would be my first recommendation for a foreign investor. The second recommendation would be that in Pakistan, all successful projects, mining projects, have been like public-private partnership. Like Amir was talking about SDCMC, like Rakodik, like Sandek, like many other projects. If you look at it in Pakistan, all large-scale mining projects have been public-private partnerships of different kinds. Pakistan has got a public-private act. Either they are under that act, or Pakistan is also good at, if the act does not fit into the requirements, like SCCMC. SCCMC is a public-private company, but it does not come under the Public-Private Act. Rakodik is a public-private company, but it also does not come under Public-Private Act per se. So if there is a requirement, then another structure could be created, but public-private partnership is absolutely essential. Only government can take the risk part of the project, where it is essential that the government comes in with taking care of the risk part, coming and taking care of the infrastructure part. So the government, the private sector, and the foreign sector in different percentages, not necessarily, there is no magic percentages available that foreign companies should be like this much. In case of Barrick, it is 50% Barrick, and government of Pakistan and government of Balochistan 25 each. In SCCMC, obviously it's more than 50% government and less than about 46% the private sector. So many things are there. For example, in case of Sandek, there's 75% Chinese foreign and 25% is Pakistanis. So different percentages are there. But essentially, you cannot do mining in Pakistan, a foreign company cannot do mining in Pakistan until the time it has got a private sector partner and it has got a government public-private act. Even for those Pakistani companies who are interested, somehow or the other, they need to find a way to do it in a public sector, partnership with the public sector. One thing that has happened, my last comment before I leave, is that in recent months, there is a body that has been formed, SIFC, Special Incentive Facilitation Center, something, whatever it stands for, is absolutely an essential organization that has been set up by government of Pakistan. And if you would like to do mining in Pakistan, or for that matter, any investment in Pakistan, this body is sort of a coordinating body between all the different government functions, and once you go there, you will be facilitated to do your things. In Pakistan, fortunately or unfortunately, one thing which is absolutely essential is to have establishment support. And through SIFC, you get that establishment support. Without establishment support, I suppose doing mining in Pakistan, bringing billions of dollars into Pakistan is very difficult. So you have to get together, you have to put everything together, you have to bring all the stakeholders together. And the last stakeholder, one must not forget, is the people of the area. So people of the area, a private sector, a government, and together with the government establishment, if all these guys get together, only then you will be successful. That's the recipe for success. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that. And just on the legal note, obviously, as you rightly said, that there are exceptions to the public procurement laws, the PPP, Public-Private Partnership, Public Procurement Laws, and the Balochistan laws have recently been amended to allow for negotiated agreements to be entered into, where there's an international obligation, and particularly where there are substantial investments involved, which is what we're discussing right now. The federal government also becomes a party to it. So you've got the provincial government, you've got the federal government, and they can both give you the support and the assurances that you need in order to invite foreign investment. And then there is also the Foreign Investment Protection Act, which specifically protects the RICO-DIC investment, but it has the ability to add further schedules to it, to add further projects to it. So for significantly large projects, the Foreign Protection Act has been tested, has been implemented, and it has been approved by the Supreme Court of Pakistan as well. So those sorts of risk mitigation strategies have already been implemented. Now, having spoken about Rikodik, Mr. Tariq Saab, can you tell us a little bit about the wonderful reserves available at Rikodik, and and where do we go from here?
Assalamu alaikum, gentlemen, and all the attendees who are listening to us at the moment. Yes, I would love to speak about Reko and the resources that are there. Some of them are only explored yet. There's so many others that need to be explored and identified. To talk about Reko, I'd like to share my screen with you. Oh, okay, wonderful. So this is the Reko map on Google Earth. Right here was the camp, or is the camp. And initially they explored the H4 deposit or Thanjil, and it is 175 million tons. And this is what they were planning to mine and establish. And the ore here was chalcocite, which is oxide ore, and the plan was to come in and have a solvent extraction electrowinning plant, and they would be producing copper cathode at the mine site over here. And if done, it would have been a wonderful thing to be a copper cathode producer right here. This is the initial discovery. Then they also discovered a deposit of 425 million tons towards the east. This is basically, if you look at it, a 0.45% grade copper, and the gold in here is 0.3 part per million ppm. Again, if you use today's LME's copper and gold prices, this is a $23 billion worth deposit.
And we've talked about this as well. Are these proven deposits? Are there international independently verifiable studies that have taken place?
Yeah. They have been discovered by either BHP or Barrick when they were working. I don't have those timelines exactly, but back then when the copper was $400,000 a ton at the LME, it wasn't feasible to develop this mine. The one I'm pointing at. These deposits are still with Reko.
Sorry to interrupt you. Are there opportunities for? Obviously, this has been given to Barrick Gold in a sort of public-private partnership with the Balochistan government and the federal government. But are there opportunities for others as well to explore here in these Reko deposits?
Yeah, definitely. You would usually go and try to find a mine where there is already a mine. So if you go and explore, if you get a property here, for example, there's a village Humai, and I believe Shamsab has got the lease for Humai region to explore for copper, right?
PMDC. Yeah.
Is this PMDC or NRL?
Yes, NRL is the lead in the area now.
Yeah. So if you try to explore here, you'll definitely find other deposits for the investors, and all the areas that are available. There are a huge resource, a huge potential of finding a resource as big as Reko or even bigger than Reko. And if you now come up towards the northern region here, there's a 200 million ton deposit here up in the north. And this has a 0.43% copper grade and a 0.29 ppm gold. And this is $10 billion by today's market value for gold and copper, which is not bad. The jackpot is basically the Western Porphyries, which is 2.2 billion tons of the resource. And it's 0.41% copper and 0.29 ppm gold. And this deposit is worth $152 billion. The total Reko deposit is 5.9 billion ton, which includes the highlighted deposits and many others that I don't have time to put here on the map. So the total resource at Reko is basically 5.9 billion tons, and the value would be again in hundreds of billions of dollars.
And only part of that has been given to Barrick Gold, so the rest is available for exploration and mining.
Yes, I mean there's a lot of still areas that are vacant around Reko in the eastern side of Chaghi, in some other pockets, which has a huge potential. But even Reko or the project got stuck due to arbitration, and they weren't able to explore the other areas which are at the moment available, and the investors can come in and continue the work of exploration and find and discover other deposits. I mean, this is the time, basically, Mr. Rabel, that I would like to emphasize that for the green transition to happen, you need copper. You need more copper than ever mined and processed and produced from the beginning of mankind. So the world has gone into high-risk jurisdictions such as Pakistan and even Afghanistan or the other areas where the resources are, or the potential is very huge, and so is the geopolitical risk. But this is the time where the window is open, and the brave heart who would be brave enough to come in would enjoy the riches. Because in places that are safe, everybody is going there and it's already covered. Even if you go there, the deals that you get won't make you rich. This is a place, if you come in, people are not coming in because of all the risks. So those who come in will make a fortune for them and for the generation. And this is what is required basically at the moment to fight climate change, to have the green energy transition. So yeah, this is a prime time to come in into Pakistan, I would say.
That's a very good point. And on that point, I'd also note that obviously security is a challenge, right? In these areas, but the government of Pakistan is determined to actually provide security, and these areas are fairly well manageable, or well managed, and they are manageable. But Shamsab, can I just ask you to talk about some of the other industries that come around mining and investment opportunities there as well? Can you please elaborate on those? Thank you, Tariq.
Yes, right now there are many opportunities in Pakistan, and obviously lots of allied industries can also work, and without them, mining is not successful. So the first thing that one of the problems that Pakistani mines have is lack of data. These are not being explored well. So the first thing that we need is lots of exploration companies, the consultants, the exploration companies, the geophysical guys, the geochemical guys, the labs. Everybody is required to do the exploration in Pakistan. So number one, the industry that is required is exploration industry. Second, the industry that is required is the drilling industry, because lots of drill holes have to be done, because you cannot know what is there underground till the time you don't do the drilling. So lots of drilling companies, foreign companies are coming in Pakistan doing the drilling bit. So these drillers are required, the environmental assessment guys are required, so many consultants, every type of consultants are required. Once this is done, then you need lots of mining equipment, now Komatsu, Caterpillar, all sort of the big guys are here in Pakistan who are trying to sell their machinery. So those type of guys are required. Then moving on to that, if you do take the ore out, then you need the processing machinery. So lots of crushing plants, the flotation plants, the processing plants, and Pakistan government now is seriously considering putting up a smelting plant. So smelting plants and the refineries and stuff like that, these are things that are going to happen in the next 5 years. So every downstream allied industry and consultants are now required in Pakistan. And as the mining industry grows in Pakistan, which hopefully it would, then all these guys are required. They are already working in Pakistan. Now all top name consultants are already in Pakistan. The big mining drillers are also in Pakistan, but more are required. So all type of downstream industry now is required. So these guys who are going to do the physical work. But then let's not forget the financial sector, because once you do find something out, then you need the financial sector and Pakistani banks, because you need lots of dollars to do any of these projects, foreign exchange. So you need foreign banks to help us finance those projects. And also, one must realize that all the revenue is dollar based, so dollar risk is not there. So we would need lots of banks to help us put these things together. Then now we are also in touch with streamers, those guys who buy the mining streams. They are also now working in Pakistan. So all type of mining industry is involved, is required, and there's a good opportunity for them to come to Pakistan.
Thank you. That's actually, I'm glad that you mentioned financing, because that brings me back to Amir. Amir, where are so we've got block 2, which you're exploring in Thar. What are the further financing needs for SECMC, and what is your message to international investors?
So thank you for raising a very important point, because we all know that in this era, getting finances for coal is getting tougher and tougher. It's not easy to get financing for coal. So I think there is a need, and this we need support from, say, essentially coming from the government of Pakistan, but also international investors, to see that in order to expand in block 2 or block 1 or even in third, we need investment. And today the Chinese investors, lenders are not they're not interested, or they are not they're not investing in coal outside China any longer. So we are in dire need. If we want to explore the potential of Thar, we need financing, and there is a need to do some creative financing, maybe sukuks, or maybe other instruments which we are exploring, but we need the investment community also to come forward and give us some ideas in terms of how can we explore. If you look at mining, if you look at coal, we are we are not talking about we are all what we are talking about even in next 5, 7, 10 years is replacing imported coal with the local coal. We're not saying we're going to set up we are going to replace or start new industry with the local coal, but all we are saying is we need to replace there's a huge opportunity even to replace the local coal, the imported coal. We are importing 18 million tons of coal. If we can replace, that would mean another block maybe which has to be opened. Then there is a very big opportunity of coal to gasification, but that also requires investment, and international investment coming in the country through different financial instruments. Let me also build on what Shams was talking about in terms of other associated industries. I think another need where I want to raise to the international investors or the people on this call is our dire need to develop capability and capacity. Mining is a relatively underdeveloped industry in Pakistan, and one of the biggest challenges, I think, after financial challenges, the next is getting the right profile of people capable of capable miners who understand mining, who understand modern mining, safe and modern mining, who understand what are the technologies which have been deployed across the world. So these investors, my request to them is not only money, but we need capability, capacity, and technology transfer as well.
That's very pertinent. Thank you for that. So I've got Mr. Asad Ahmed. He's the CEO of Pakistan Mineral Development Corporation. He's traveling. He's on the mines in Balochistan, and that's why he had to join late. But Asad, can you briefly talk about the salt mines in Pakistan and the potential there? I think we have about 2 minutes, and then we might be able to take 1 or 2 questions. Are there any questions while Asad fixes the? So thank you. Thank you everyone for the insightful analysis and views, and Dr. Saab for your very comprehensive overview of the mining opportunities in Pakistan. There have been challenges in the past. The government has addressed them through legislation and the Virk project, which is one of the largest copper projects in the world, is back up online, and that is proof enough that the future of mining in Pakistan and ancillary industries is looking bright. And of course, there are coal reserves which need to be explored, and there are multiple financing opportunities here. Dr. Saab, what do you?
Thank you. I would like to respond to the concern about financing in coal sector raised by Mr. Amir Iqbal. Of course, there are multiple issues, concerns related to environmental footprint, mainly driven by climate change and energy transition. So globally, there is a reduced, almost negligible now funding in the coal sector. Like he highlighted about the Chinese investment. So one avenue of attracting investment could be, which is of course relatively clean use of coal through coal gasification. Coal gasification is the area where coal can be converted into syngas. We can produce fertilizer. Syngas is very first line feed for the fertilizer production. We can further refine it and convert it into pure methane, which is a pipeline quality gas. We can transport and distribute among the country for industry, other industry as well. We can produce petrochemicals from the coal through coal gasification process, liquid fuels as well as gaseous fuels. So this is the area perhaps where fertilizers can come in and support coal mining. So for their direct use for fertilizer production. The federal government is also working on coal gasification policy, and we are working with the, Mr. Amir might know, FFC is there, fertilizer group is there. So this is the new area where perhaps we hope through effective policy development, we can attract investment and develop the coal sector. Thank you.
Thank you. And that, I think there was a question there as well. Our SECMC, which actually you have just addressed, our SECMC and all other stakeholders in similar projects following international standards for removing harmful contents from coal to make it less harmful for the environment. So you've just talked about that. I think that there are Asad Saab is a specialist in salt mines in Punjab and the north of Pakistan. He has some connection issues, but there are tremendous opportunities there as well in terms of investments in salt mines of Pakistan, and a lot of exploration and mining work is already taking place there. But that brings us up to 5 o'clock in Pakistan, 1200 GMT. Thank you all for joining in this webinar, and there will be a recording of this that will be available online for you to share with your colleagues. Suffice to say, in summary, thank you to our presenters for taking out the time. In summary, Pakistan is open for business. Mining is in terms of existential issues, mining, due to Pakistan's own financing needs and the export capability from both rare earth material, coal, and copper and gold, there are significant export opportunities here for Pakistan to make much needed foreign currency and build its reserves, which is the need of the hour. So Pakistani government and the industry players in front of you are all committed to promoting foreign investment in the mining sector and making it a success. Thank you very much, everyone. And we'll look forward to seeing you again in future webinars in Realize the Opportunity at Akhund Forbes. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Rabel. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.